Were you there? Were you there at the Biennial in San Francisco? Did you feel the creative power of these synagogue leaders sharing their commitment to Judaism? Did you feel the love and kinship when almost 4,000 Reform Jews worshiped together on Shabbat? Did you hear the musical celebration of Jewish learning that filled the great room on that Friday night?
The crown of Torah and wisdom was provided for every Jew who desires it. No matter what his age, he has only to study, to turn the words of Torah over and over, to learn from it, for it contains everything. There is no better way of life.
The UAHC Biennial is food for the spirit, the heart, and the mind. And the theme of this gathering was lifelong learning, the path to informed choices. It is always the largest assemblage of Reform Jews anywhere. Almost 4,000 delegates from 850 member congregations coming together to celebrate their Jewishness. The Torah should have personal meaning for every Jew. Rabbi Daniel Syme, Senior Vice President of the Union.
Our tradition teaches that every living soul is a letter of the Torah. And thus, all souls taken together make up the Torah in its entirety. Let us here tonight, this small piece of Torah, resolve to return to our homes, our families, our synagogues, each with our neshama yetera, and join in binding together new pieces of Torah for all who are touched by our lives and our example as Reformed Jews with promises to keep, as partners with God, as a blessing to all humanity.
There was no doubt of the fundamental vigor of both the Reform movement and the UAHC, underlined by the union's chairman of the board, Mel Marians.
The Reform movement is the movement of the future in North America. I am proud to inform you that Reform Judaism continues to grow and flourish. We are strong because we function as an integrated movement. No UAHC synagogue is an island alone. We are a family.
Members of the extended Jewish family came to San Francisco for many reasons, to renew their own personal faith, for example, and equally important, to strengthen their links to the UAHC to help them meet challenges facing their congregations, not just for 4 days, but every day. They were from every part of the continent and from congregations of every size. Jane Rips came from Temple Israel in Omaha, Nebraska.
We've experienced some wonderful growth in the last 5 or 6 years, and we've become so much bigger that I think we need to ways not to lose people in the crowds.
Skip Dixon came from Bakersfield, California, from Temple Beth El, with 165 families.
Our problems probably aren't too different than congregations everywhere. How do you get people into your congregation to start with? There are a lot of non-affiliated Jews. How do you keep them if you get them? How do you get people to willingly support the congregation?
Jim Friedman came from West Hartford, Connecticut, from Temple Beth Israel, with 1,400 family members.
We all come to give and to receive, to pray together, to worship together, to study together. I mean, we're really doing the essence of our Judaism.
If there was any doubt that the outside world knew and cared about these thousands of representatives of Reform Judaism, it was clear that the makers of high policy in Washington cared. The principal address was by Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Your 800 congregations have stood at the cutting edge of every struggle for social justice in this century. You know that reform is not just a verb. It is a moral imperative that all of us should heed.
For 4 days, delegates flocked to workshop after workshop. They sought both personal renewal of their faith and beliefs and practical solutions to temple problems. Jane Rips, president of her temple in Omaha, chose a session on building temple leadership, and another on the sometimes divisive issue of what non-Jewish spouses of members should and should not be allowed to do in a congregation.
We had some rocky moments, yet no one left our congregation because of this debate.
Jim Friedman is deeply concerned with matters of faith and attended several lectures on spirituality by Rabbi Lawrence Hoffman. He bought audio tapes of other workshops he could not attend, made available by the UAHC, to share with others on his temple board.
The religious right is a threat to the Republic, a threat to the Jewish community, and a threat to our fundamental liberties.
Rabbi Eric Yaffe, vice president of the UAHC, warned of the religious right, and Skip Dixon was startled to learn of the strength of that movement.
They do not hesitate to threaten through political pressure or public denunciation anyone who dares to disagree with their authoritarian positions.
Skip Dixon's personal highlight was to be part of a nationwide chorus chosen to join in the biennial Shabbat service.
That to me was absolutely fantastic, that all these people could come together and within 2 days make that kind of music.
Come the Friday night Shabbat service, the chorus and orchestra were ready with Ben Steinberg's cantata, The Crown of Torah. The Saturday Shabbat service brought worshipers a novel way to participate in the reading of the weekly Torah portion. And to the delegates' delight, they were able to follow the reading word for Hebrew word on large video screens around the hall. The reading was by cantor Deborah Bard of San Diego's Temple Beth Israel, and she had another surprise for the delegates.
I will establish my covenant,
chanting in English as she translated from the Hebrew.
And between you and between your seed, your offspring that comes after you, as an everlasting covenant.
The unusual Torah reading was yet another demonstration of the way the Union encourages synagogues to innovate in their worship. On the convention floor, the Union's member congregations set the policy and direction of the reform movement and of the UAHC, as delegates debate and vote on resolution after resolution. There were other special milestones at this biennial to mark the continuing evolution of Reform Judaism. Rabbi Sally Presand, leading the Friday night Shabbat service, 20 years ago became the first woman ever ordained a rabbi.
And our lives.
And in a sad act of passage, the UAHC added another panel to the country's AIDS quilt. The National Federation of Temple Sisterhoods marked a milestone as President Judith Rosenkrantz announced its new name.
We gathered, and Abram became Abraham, Sarai became Sarah, and the National Federation of Temple Sisterhoods became the Women of Reform Judaism, the Federation of Temple Sisterhoods.
And Rabbi Alexander Schindler was celebrating his 20th year as president of the UAHC. He urged greater learning, adult academies for Jewish education, and religious schools open to all children for a limited time, not just children of temple members. He favored admitting non-Jewish spouses to temple membership, but not to full roles in temple leadership. And he even advocated changing the name of the UAHC to include the words Jewish and Reform.
We are Jews whose community is a union of Jewish congregations committed to reform. That new name should ring out with a clarity of purpose. Let us henceforth be known for what we are and what we intend to be.
Toward the end of the biennial, the three delegates came together to discuss what the gathering meant to them.
Well, first of all, I hope to convey to the other members of my board how much there is available to us in the way of guidance and help from the union. It sounds like such a sales pitch, but it's really true. They really are very caring, lovely people who are willing to go out of their way to help you find the answers that you need.
Jim, yours is a very large congregation. You would think that you wouldn't have to call on the UAHC time and again.
We don't think that way, or at least I don't think that way. It's a matter of knowing what the union has. No individual congregation, whether it's my congregation of 1,400 family members or a congregation that's of 3,000 or 5,000, no congregation can prepare a rabbi.
Well, we had recently hired an assistant rabbi, and I chaired the search committee for this assistant rabbi, and we took great advantage of our regional office of helping us and set up a search committee, the guidelines on how to run a search committee, and the network and being a part of that was very helpful to our congregation.
No single congregation could have a network of a temple youth group. No single congregation could underwrite a commission on social action of Reform Judaism and the Religious Action Center in Washington that speaks not only for Reform Jews, but for all Jews, and lobbies in behalf of those issues that are crucial to us as Jews. So it's those kinds of support services as well that the union provides. The union of 850 congregations provides to each of our congregations.
I'm renewed. I know I'm a Jew, and I am a Jew by choice. And this affirms once more that it was the correct choice. I have more assurance of who I am and what I am, and that I can carry it off anywhere, even in Bakersfield.
Lehi lach, go forth. That was the concluding message of the presidential address by Rabbi Schindler. Go forth and deepen your knowledge of Jewish tradition. Accept its challenge to help the impoverished and destitute, the endangered children of the world.
And then only will God's promise to Abraham be fulfilled. I will make you a great nation. Your seed will be as numerous as the stars in the heavens. But be you a blessing too, so that through you all of the families of the earth will be blessed. Ken Yehi Ratzon.
You shall be
UAHC biennial conventions help member congregations to influence the direction of North American Reform Judaism. UAHC conventions offer congregations a unique opportunity to take advantage of a wide range of services offered by the union. We urge Temple leaders to attend the biennial conventions of their UAHC Regional Council during the fall and winter of 1994 and 1995, and the next UAHC National Biennial Convention, November 29 to December 3, 1995, in Atlanta, Georgia.